Well, speaking of backing, now we're getting into a little bit of a dicey scenario here with the U.S. President Obama saying that the Russian government will have costs if they create a military foray into Ukraine, and now former Senator and now Secretary of State John Kerry was on Meet the Press, and he said something which, well, let me play it for you. Okay, listen closely to what he says about acts of aggression and invading countries on trumped up pretexts. Watch this.
Russia is in violation of its obligations under the UN Charter, under the Helsinki Final Act. It's a violation of its obligations under the 1994 Budapest Agreement. You just don't, in the 21st century, behave in 19th century fashion by invading another country on completely trumped up pretext.
Okay, so by 19th century fashion, maybe Secretary Kerry is referring to 21st century fashion 11 years ago in Iraq. There is no more recent example of invading a country on trumped up charges than the false pretenses carefully crafted and created by the Bush administration to get us into war in Iraq. Now, I don't believe for a second that John Kerry, even though he was speaking apparently without irony in his voice, I don't believe for a second he doesn't realize the absurdity of what he's saying. I think he knows what he is saying. I think he is playing the same game that Russia is playing, which is saying things they know aren't true. And I actually still think, in spite of the absurdity and the hypocrisy of what Secretary Kerry is saying, that he's probably one of the better diplomats the United States has to be involved in discussions.
Of course, I'm glad he's the guy. But like you said, that is just the most hypocritical nonsense I've ever heard in my life. And it's embarrassing. And you know what? We should not be getting involved here at all. We should not. I don't want to call it. We say we should be isolationists in a situation like this. But
you just
I don't
think
know.
In this particular case, there's why is the U.S. involved?
I see no positive outcome here with us getting involved.
Well, I think there are other countries in the European Union that may actually want some American involvement. Even Poland now saying, we need to put a stop to this right away because we fear, whether it's a rational or irrational fear, that is not for me to say right now. Poland saying they worry that Russia will continue all the way through Ukraine and eventually into Poland, and they are increasingly concerned about what is going on. And so I'm going to be following the next 6 or 8 hours. We should have news from Secretary Kerry's discussions in Russia and Ukraine, and hopefully tomorrow we will have some news about what the latest developments are.